Lights, camera, action.
Welcome to our channel, where we dive into the glitz, glamour, and secrets of Hollywood's golden age, classic art, photography, and so much more from days gone by. Please hit that subscribe and like button and spread the word far and wide. Today, we're unraveling a tantalizing tale about the incomparable Marilyn Monroe, a story of a supposed secret marriage that's as intriguing as it is controversial. In the 1950s, Marilyn Monroe captivated the world with her beauty, talent, and undeniable charisma. As her star rose in Hollywood, so did the public's fascination with her personal life. But amidst the well-known romances and marriages, one man claimed a hidden chapter in Monroe's love story, a chapter that has been debated for decades. Before she became the iconic Marilyn Monroe, Norma Jeane Baker's life was far from glamorous. Her first walk down the aisle came much earlier than many realize, and under circumstances that were more practical than romantic. In June 1942, just 18 days after her 16th birthday, Norma Jeane married James Dougherty, a 21-year-old Los Angeles night shift worker at Lockheed Aircraft as World War II intensified and U.S. Merchant Marine. Their union wasn't born purely out of teenage passion, but rather as a solution to a looming problem. Norma Jeane, who had bounced between foster homes, was living with family friends Grace and Doc Goddard. When the Goddards decided to move across the country, they couldn't take Norma Jeane with them. To prevent the teenager from returning to the foster care system, Grace suggested a marriage between Norma Jeane and their neighbor, James Dougherty. As James later recalled, "We decided to get married to prevent her from going back to a foster home, but we were in love." The young couple settled into a modest four-room house in Van Nuys, California. Norma Jeane, showing early signs of the style icon she would become, personally chose every furnishing in their home, from kitchen cutlery to the doormat. This early marriage, while born of necessity, provided Norma Jeane with a sense of stability she had rarely known. However, it was destined to be short-lived as her transformation into Marilyn Monroe began to take shape. As Marilyn's star rose in Hollywood during the 1950s, so did the public's fascination with her personal life. She would go on to have two more high-profile marriages, to baseball legend Joe DiMaggio in 1954 and playwright Arthur Miller in 1956. Sadly, none of these unions would last, and Marilyn's romantic life remained a subject of intense speculation until her untimely death in 1962 at the age of 36. But amidst these well-documented relationships, one man claimed a hidden chapter in Monroe's love story, a chapter that has been debated for decades. Enter Robert Slatzer, a writer who arrived in Hollywood in 1946 with dreams of making it big in the movie industry. In his 1974 book, The Life and Curious Death of Marilyn Monroe, Slatzer dropped a bombshell. He claimed to have secretly married the iconic actress in Mexico on October 4, 1952. According to Slatzer's account, he first met Monroe, then known as Norma Jeane Baker, in 1946 at 20th Century Fox Studios. He alleged that their relationship blossomed over the years, culminating in a clandestine wedding south of the border. But the story doesn't end there. Slatzer claimed that Darryl F. Zanuck, the powerful head of 20th Century Fox, ordered the marriage to be annulled to protect Monroe's rising star. The tale concludes with the couple allegedly returning to Mexico to retrieve and burn the marriage certificate. It's a story worthy of a Hollywood script, but is there any truth to it? Let's examine the facts. The only concrete evidence of Slatzer and Monroe's acquaintance comes from photos taken during the filming of Niagara in 1953. This noir thriller, set against the backdrop of the famous falls, was a turning point in Monroe's career, cementing her status as a bona fide movie star. However, the timeline of Monroe's well-documented relationships casts doubt on Slatzer's claims. In 1952, the year of the supposed secret marriage, Monroe was already involved with baseball legend Joe DiMaggio. The pair would go on to marry in January 1954, albeit briefly. Following her divorce from DiMaggio, Monroe married playwright Arthur Miller in 1956. Perhaps the most damning evidence against Slatzer's story comes from William Fowler, a novelist who worked as a ghostwriter on early drafts of Slatzer's book. When the book was adapted into a TV movie in 1991, Fowler publicly stated that Slatzer's tale was filled with lies. He revealed that Slatzer's account kept changing during the writing process, raising serious questions about its authenticity. So, what can we conclude? While the idea of a secret marriage between Marilyn Monroe and Robert Slatzer is undoubtedly captivating, the evidence suggests it's more likely to be a work of fiction than a hidden historical fact. It serves as a reminder of the enduring fascination with Monroe's life and the lengths some will go to claim a piece of Hollywood history. As we close this chapter of Hollywood lore, I want to thank you for joining us on this journey through the golden age of cinema. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more intriguing stories from yesteryear. And here's something special for all you vintage enthusiasts out there. You can now own a piece of Hollywood history. Head over to our Redbubble store, linked in the description, where you'll find an amazing collection of vintage photography and artwork inspired by the films and stars we feature. Every purchase helps us continue bringing you these fascinating stories and allows you to invest in unique, nostalgic art. Don't forget to share this video on your social media channels. Let's spread the love for classic Hollywood far and wide. And we want to hear from you. Drop a comment below telling us which celebrities or interesting facts from the 1900s or earlier you'd like us to cover next. Until next time, keep that vintage spirit alive, and remember, in Hollywood, the truth is often stranger than fiction.